So I ride, I lean, I crawl. Do it better than them all. Let the road.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be sort of another perfuming episode. Haven't done one of these in a while, and this is sort of unboxing of some new materials that I got. You guys seem to have enjoyed these, so I figure, hey, let's do some more of these. Now, every month I sort of rotate, getting some natural materials, and then the next month I'll get some synthetic materials. And this month it was like a synthetic month, but I saw that a few different perfume suppliers had gotten in some real ambergris, and I just got super excited by that. Perfumer Apprentice had it, and Perfumer Supply House, which is run by a friend of mine, Christine, great owner, super knowledgeable person about perfume. She'll work with you if there's something she doesn't have. She got some in too, and she got ambergris tinctures in at 10%. I just decided to get some ambergris tincture, which I'll show you guys, talk to you about, as well as some other products. And next month, I'm going to be getting some real expensive ouds. Samples of some expensive ouds from a place that Peter Fragrance View recommended to me. He did a video on them as well. And so I'm going to be getting some ouds from there. This month I got some ambergris and some other naturals, and some synthetics as well. So let me just show you what I got in this month's perfumer's haul. It was about $200 worth of product, mainly because that ambergris. We'll just go through some of the stuff I got. So the first thing is this. This isn't my first go around with this. This is Bois de Lande, and Robert Tet makes it. For me, Robert Tet right now is the best supplier, my favorite supplier, like a big company supplier of natural materials. There's some small websites I really like White Lotus Aromatics and Eden Botanicals, but Robert Tet is a perfume house themselves, and they supply perfume houses, and their specialty is these high-end naturals. And Bois de Lande, which I've gotten a sample of before, I just decided to get five grams of it. It is fantastic. It is my favorite, other than Mysore Sandalwood, it is my favorite woody material. What it is it's a co-distillation of cedar and pine, basically. So it's this smoky, sweet, sort of Christmas tree material. It's fantastic. It's not super expensive. If you do this and you haven't checked out Robert Tet Naturals yet, you're crazy. I'll show you. I think I got a few others in this haul, but I really like Bois de Lande. It sort of smells like a smoky baseball bat. It's just a fantastic. It's a fantastic natural. The next one is a sample of vetiver from Paraguay. You get some samples when you order from Christine. She has a fantastic selection of samples. And I have Haitian vetiver, but I wanted to try this. This is pretty new to her store, this vetiver from Paraguay. This is obviously a natural as well. Yeah, and it smells really good. I have to dilute this. I have to dilute all these before I can really give you my opinion. I really prefer to smell things in dilution. They're a little too strong, I feel like, when they're at 100%, but I don't know much about this vetivers other than Haitian. I have a bunch of like patchoulis and a bunch of different other natural materials. I only have one type of vetiver. I have vetiver acetate, which is a synthetic. So I wanted to get another type of vetiver, so I got some vetiver from Paraguay. This is called hydrocarboresin. And you can see how dark this is. This is from Bioland. They also make fantastic naturals as well. And I'm not really sure what this is. I guess this is an extract of labdanum. And reading the reviews online, basically everyone was saying if you really want to make an incense accord, a church incense accord, this is sort of a prerequisite to that. So I got a sample of this hydrocarboresin, and it is pretty good. It's really smoky and dark, and it kind of does on its own smell like church incense. This is another natural from Robert Tet. This is their black tea. This is fantastic. To me, this smells like a cup of black tea with no milk, cream, sugar, just like black Ceylon tea. It's not super sweet. It's smoky. It's really good. It's a really nice material. I have some this is a natural, by the way, again. I have some synthetic green tea that Givaudan makes. And I'm gonna get some green tea absolute or green tea essential oil, but the green tea that I have really doesn't smell like green tea. It smells like fresh laundry to me. This smells exactly like black tea. And you know, guys, I'm never disappointed when I get a Robertet product. They're just fantastic. Now here's the ambergris. This is ambergris tincture. This is 2 grams, okay? This is from New Zealand. This is white gold ambergris. It's a 10% tincture. I'm gonna dilute it down to 1% tincture, so I'll have about 20 milliliters or 20 grams of white ambergris tincture. And this was $70 for two grams. You guys know how expensive ambergris is. It's the most expensive perfume material in the world. This is the first time for me ever smelling real ambergris. And she had a few different varieties. She had a black and gold one, and I think she had another black one. Those supposedly were a little bit more animalic and dark. This, to me, what I could best describe smelling ambergris. So 2 things I want to say about this. One, IFF. I have a couple of synthetic ambergris. IFF has an ambergris that I could totally see that smells a little bit like this. It's not one to one, but IFF did a pretty good job with their ambergris base. This to me smells like a combination of 3 things. It smells like a combination of like the sea, lemon, and urine. That's what it smells like. Those 3 things: lemon, the sea, and not dirty urine, like really clean urine. It's really nice. I cannot wait to see how this plays in a blend. This is white gold ambergris from New Zealand. Again, $70, 2 grams. I'm going to be getting the other ambergris, hopefully that she has in her store in due time, because I really do want to compare them. And yeah, I want to do a fragrance. I want at least one fragrance I make or multiple fragrances I make to contain real ambergris. So I'm really happy now that I have that in the wheelhouse. Another Robertet Natural. These are mimosa flowers. This is an olescence. I really can't, I'm having a hard time figuring out exactly what an olescence is, but it smells exactly like mimosa flowers. So it's just another Robertet Natural. I'm trying to collect Robertet Naturals. This has to be kept refrigerated. This is Hedione. This is the Hedione HC. This is on Jean-Claude Eleanor's list of 200 materials he uses. Hedione is a synthetic jasmine, which is a revolutionary perfumer material that was most famously used in perhaps Eau Sauvage for Christian Dior, and it just gives a lot of lift and a softness to fragrances. The Hedione HC is a higher quality version of Hedione. It has a higher CIS content, so it has more lift to it. It smells a little bit more fresh, a little bit sweeter, a little bit of a more jasmine vibe. It's like a little bit like Hedione on steroids, and because it is on Eleanor's list, I wanted to grab some of that as well. This is by Firmenich. This is their Citroasis base. Again, this is why it pays for perfume houses to give out samples. I got a sample of this Citroasis base, and as soon as Christina got it in stock, I knew I had to have some of this. It's just a gorgeous citrus base. It smells of like lemon and orange and woods and it's green. It's fantastic. I haven't smelled anything that's any citrus base that smells quite like it. So I got a sample of it. I fell in love with it. I want to make a fragrance with it, so I got some more of it. This is a really high quality musk called El Muscone by Takasago. Yeah, it's just I have quite a bunch of musks now. I don't know that this one's super special. It has a really clean musky vibe. I would like to get some ethically obtained deer musk at one point, just to sort of see what that smells like, because I haven't been able to, and sort of compare to see which musk I think smells the most like the real deal. But this is just, I sort of collect musks, and I didn't have any El Muscone, so I wanted to add that. This is an IFF base. It's called Lime Leaves, and it's meant to smell like lime leaves. I'm smelling it now. It's a little weird. It does sort of smell like lime leaves. It's got a very clean vibe to it. It's very green. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that green tea by Givaudan. Again, I need to dilute it before I really give an opinion on it, but there's that. Another base, this is from Firmenich. This is Vert de Citron, so it's their green citrus base. This is really, really nice. You know, I smell this, I feel like I smell hundreds of designer sport fragrances, so I feel like this is a really well used well-used base in citrus or sport fragrances is Verica Citron, so I hadn't tried that, or lime leaves. These were new materials in the store. This is Valencine 7.5. This is a natural fraction, and this is a fraction of orange. So basically what a fraction is, if you have orange essential oil, you can pull out what you don't like in orange, or you can pull out what you do like, right, and sort of make a fraction. And then this is Valencine, and this is a fraction of orange oil. This is supposed to be very clean and woody. It's quite expensive for an orange oil, but again, that's because it was engineered a certain way, and I gotta really explore that more before I give an opinion. This is a passion fruit base. I believe this is from Firmenich. Passion fruit is a fruit I don't have represented in my my perfumer's organs, so I saw this one and I just wanted to get that for, you know, looking to maybe do a tropical fragrance. Not bad, but pretty synthetic. This is Pulveride. The only Soda Aromatics makes flavors, I think, and this is the only fragrance material they make, Pulveride, and this is really nice. This is just like really clean and powdery. This smells like powder. Like if you wanted to give your fragrance a sweet powdery vibe, I think this would be a great way to do it. This is a synthetic musk, so wanted to grab that as well. And then I have some Ambrarome. This I think is also, yep, this is also Ambrarome Absolute. This is also by Cinerome, and this is another labdanum sort of isolate or extraction. And this is beautiful. This is really dark and woody and resinous and animalic, and I can't wait to use this. And then I got some of this stuff. And this is Fir Absolute, so not by Bioland, not Fir Essential Oil. I have the Essential Oil. This is the Absolute, which is solvent obtained, much darker, much richer. You could see the Essential Oil is kind of dark and viscous. This is like ridiculous. Like I'm not sure how I'm gonna dilute this. I think I'm probably gonna have to just dump the alcohol into this and then get it out, because this is unbelievably thick. And you stick your head in this jar. This is 2 grams, by the way, and this smells exactly like sap from a Christmas tree. It's gorgeous, but I wasn't quite knowledgeable of how difficult this was going to be to get out. And then just a bunch of samples I'll show you guys real quick. Love getting samples. This is the best part of getting stuff from perfumers. Generous probably 1 ml samples, and because I dilute everything, 1 ml really gives me a 10 ml size, a 10% dilution, so I really can play around with these samples. This is Pam Zest. This is from Cinerome. This is one of their grapefruit bases, so super excited to try that out. This is Hummus Ether. I don't know who the producer of this is, but this is really cool. This smells exactly like soil, like wet soil. It reminds me a lot of geosmin, which is the chemical that is released when it's about to rain. If you ever smell bats by zoologists, that is the best representation of geosmin. And this smells a lot like that, but it also smells like wet soil or dirt. This is called Hummus Ether, so that's a really cool, interesting material. We have another sample of a Robert Ted Natural. This is Elemi Heart. So Elemi is a resin, of course. What I love about Robert Ted Naturals, and this is gorgeous, I'll probably get this as well. What I love about them is they will take a material and they will strip out things that they don't like about that oil or that material. So if there's something in it that's making it smell funky or dirty or plain, they'll just take that out. So you really get the facets to the material that shine through. So they really do a great job, I feel like, of producing the best of every material that they do. So their stuff's just top notch. This is their Elemi Heart. I have their Cypriol Heart. I have their Cedar Atlas Heart. I have their Raspberry. I have their Pineapple. I showed you guys what I have here. I have their Wada Incense, which is a woody incense. I just have a lot of their stuff and I love it. This is CIS3 Hexyl Tiglate. I don't know anything about this other than CIS3 hexanol is also called leaf alcohol. It smells exactly like green grass. There's other versions of that. There's acetate. There's salicylate. This one was on, I have all of them. I don't have this one. I never heard of this one, but this is on Jean-Claude Elena's 200 list. And when I saw that Christine had this available for sample, sign me up. We also have another Robert Tech Natural. This is their Robert Tech's Geranium Heart. I don't love Geranium. Geranium Pour Monsieur by Frederic Malle is probably my favorite mint fragrance of all time, but Geranium Essential Oil for me is just like a little, I don't know. It's just not my favorite essential oil. I love this though. This is really clean and fresh and minty, and it just smells wonderful. Like, you know, I really haven't met a Robert Tett natural that I don't like. Then I have Firmeniche's grapefruit base. So Pam Zestis Cineromes. This is Firmeniche's swing at grapefruit, and pretty good. I have to again dilute these and see what they're all about. But this is excellent. And again, you know, why you want to use a base. Sometimes it's cheaper than using an essential oil, or why these companies sell them and want to use them. And then sometimes you're restricted heavily when using natural materials. If you make a base of aroma chemicals, you can use much more of them for a better price, and you don't have to worry about getting the same quality grapefruit essential oil every time. If you can make that grapefruit base with chemicals, then you can consistently, you have a consistency within a product. Price is consistent usually, unless the chemicals fluctuate, and you don't have to so much worry about how much you can use. And then the final thing I got that I'm so excited about, this and the ambergris were what I was really looking forward to. This is, now I am doing a 5-spice accord for a fragrance I'm working on. And 5-spice powder is a Chinese seasoning. It's got like cinnamon, star anise in it, fennel, pepper, ginger, and I was doing it with like black pepper, and it just didn't smell right. So I was really looking to get Sichuan pepper, but it's kind of hard to find. And I knew Robert Tett had a Sichuan pepper, but CO2, and I couldn't. CO2, by the way, CO2 extraction is, to me, there's different ways to extract essential oils. Essential, you know, steam distillation yields an essential oil, which some of them are really good, some of them not so good. I feel like CO2 is the next level up. You're using carbon dioxide to get material out of oil out of a material, and then you know you can if you're getting an absolute, you're using a solvent to extract that material, and usually absolutes will yield the highest quality material. And then there's also something called enfleurage. I've never smelled an enfleurage, but actually I did smell an enfleurage one time, but I haven't had a lot of time, and that's when you're using a fat or like wax to you know, mixing it with that material and then separating the fat and getting the material out of the fat. And some people think enfleurage produces the best results, but certainly absolutes are great in CO2. Anyway, I knew there was a Robert Tett Sichuan pepper CO2 that I needed. I feel like I need for my 5-spice powder, and Christine got that in. She has it available for sample now, but I believe she's going to have it available for sale soon. So she blessed me with a sample of the Sichuan pepper CO2, and this is absolutely fantastic. It's dark. It's just a dark, really nice, spicy pepper. It almost smells like 5-spice powder on its own. It's just another fantastic of a great Robert Tett natural. So that's my haul. Again, about $200, but I feel like it was really well spent. And I can't wait to start diluting and creating with these. You know, I'm sure many of you are wondering, hey, when do we get to smell what you're creating? And you know, hopefully this year, but definitely not before I feel like stuff's ready. So I'm working really hard, and I'm going to do this the right way. And so I don't want to launch and then think, and then have to relaunch in 2 years because I've become so much better and I understand so much more. I want to launch when I have something that I love and that I think is really, really good. And even though I might feel like I'm close and people have smelled my stuff and been like, this is pretty good, this is good, I want to really feel comfortable with something. So excuse me for just doing these sorts of videos right now, but next month we're gonna go through some ouds, and I think that'll be super fun. Not trying to copy the the video that Peter did. But I'm gonna get probably some of the different ouds that he did, and I'll sort of give you my thoughts on those. If you want to know any more information about any of these, if you want me to do like a video after I've sort of really had time to digest these, because I just got this package yesterday and I really haven't been able to sort of evaluate these. Please let me know which ones you're interested in. I'd be happy to do an evaluation video on the ambergris perhaps, or anything else you want to see. Yeah, and that's it. I'll be back soon with more videos. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to see. I'd be more than happy to do them for you. I will link to Perfume Supply House in the description. If you're just thinking about doing this, Perfume Supply House is a fantastic resource. I like them because Christine keeps, as you can see, a great mix of natural materials, synthetics, aroma chemicals, and bases from these big companies like Firmenich, Cinerome, IFF, obviously, Robert Tett. She gets a lot of good stuff, and it's exciting. I get so excited every time I see new stuff there. I want to buy everything, obviously. But let me know what you want to see. I'll do my best to provide those videos. I'm going to link to Perfume Supply House in the description. I'll see you guys again real soon. My name, obviously, is
We skip time, a nice rendezvous. I'm quite fond of you, and you're feeling me too. I mean, literally. You're rubbing my nuts. You tickle the D. Let me drop the top while we puff on trees.